Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody who's tuning in. I'm Brad Johnson, and of course, returning with a lot of these YouTube videos. I apologize for a bit of my absence, as I've been getting back into a lot of acting work, so that's taking up a lot of my time. And of course, when I do come home, there's a lot of requests for sessions that are taking up some time as well too. So it's been a pretty crazy schedule, but I've managed to find some time today to do this video because I think it's a very, very important video to discuss, and it's going to be talking about the creation of turmoil and its solution. So since the time that I've been doing a lot of the spiritual work and communicating through channeling with the entity known as Adronis, there's been a lot of common questions. And again, one of these very common questions is that, well, you know what, Brad, I really co-create my reality, but why do I keep attracting all of these turmoils? I feel like I'm trying to go on such a high, I'm trying to go on such a positive direction, but every single time I try to go into that positive direction, I feel like everything just falls apart. I feel like my whole world just falls apart, and I just can't bear it. I feel like my soul is just being tormented. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what my emotions are trying to tell me. I know other people are trying to give me advice, but I don't know how to put it into practice. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So again, there's that very, very common phrase that you create your reality. Yes, you do. But not your perspective of what you would understand as functioning in this conscious device, this conscious instrument. This conscious instrument's purpose is to perceive. It is not to create, okay? The all of you represents the ability of creation. So everything, every single thing that you have experienced in this life stream and other life streams through other particular perspectives, etc., are all responsible for the accumulation of the grid, the matrix that represents your encounter with this life, your encounter with the entirety of this reality. So it's like trying to ask yourself, do you altogether, singularly, do you keep track of every single thought that comes into your head from the day that you were born to right now? Odds are no, not really. Well, that's just, again, a taste, a fragment of what creating reality is all about, because this right here, who I am right here, is not creating any of this. I'm perceiving it. Everything that functions beyond the I in regards to isness, all that is, all that represents this expression of reality, of being part of this earth, of being in this physical human body, of being where I live, of doing what I do, is all part of a perception device. So I'm experiencing all that represents the isness as a perception device. And so we want to feel that, all right, well, I'm creating this reality. All right, well, you're creating this reality. Okay, well, there's a very, very small flat over here of grass. Can you just kind of snap your fingers and make that into a big hill right now for me? That'd be great. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that. You do not create your own reality through the state of perception in this body, through this device, through this instrument, through this conduit, through this terminal, through this organism. That's not how it works, okay? As a perception device, you are aligning states of perception in regards to everything that has fundamentally been created already. Everything exists now. There is no past, there is no future, as I've explained many times. Past and future are side effects created through the illusion of continuity of going through a linear-based reality. So again, it's not about you feeling that you're choosing to create turmoil, because that is a form of feeling that you're buying so much into the grief. You're buying too much into the feeling of that, oh, why did I do this to myself? How could I do it? How did I have such horrible parents? Why did I have such horrible friends who betrayed me, who backstabbed me? Why is it I can't land a job that I'm really, really excited about? Why, how, etc., and it continues to build. There's an analogy that goes with this. All right, so I'm just kind of walking down here on the grass, and all of a sudden, I feel what is obviously a gigantic knife that had just been plunged right into my back. All right, it hurts a lot. I'm looking around. Who did that? Who threw a knife in my back? Who did it? Who threw this knife in my back? and you're just kind of wandering around with this gigantic, 2-foot knife lunged into your back, and you're just kind of wandering around. All right, who did this? Show yourself. Come on. You're here somewhere. And you're completely ignoring what this is literally doing to you to impact you. You're just too busy attempting to find the culprit. You're trying to find the one responsible. You can look behind some shrubs, you can look behind some corners. Oh, it must have been that guy over there. He threw this knife in my back, and etc., etc. Is it really, really important to wonder how it got there? All right? You get stabbed in the back with a knife, are you just going to be getting up and walking around and saying, did you put this in my back? Did you do that? Did you see you with the glasses? Did you do that? You're not going to be spending the entirety of your time wondering who did it, how did it get there, when did this happen, where did this happen, etc., etc., etc. That is the conditioning of the atypical human behavior. That I'm creating turmoil, I got this turmoil of a big knife in my back, but I need to know the how, the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, etc. I got to know all of that. And here you are, nearly wanting to bleed to death. And you talk to your friends about it. Yeah, got this big, gigantic 2-foot knife in my back right now. 2 foot long. Oh, it's terrible, I'm telling you. And maybe one of your friends is saying, don't you think you might want to go to a hospital? Don't you think you might want to, work to getting this healed, getting this resolved? I don't deserve that. I don't deserve to be healed. I don't want to waste other people's time with my own drama, standing in line and waiting for this. And here you are, just walking around with this giant 2-foot blade piercing right through your back. All right? So what's wrong with this picture? Why aren't you resolving it? Where's the solution? All right, this is the whole key. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's something where you feel that there's a lack in regards to you not having the job you prefer, in regards to you being hurt in a relationship, in regards to an ailment or an illness. Whatever it may be, it all represents the same thing. It's still that proverbial knife that's in your back. So, how does this happen? How does this happen in regards to having these proverbial knife stabs? It's because we're always trying to dance around the state of polarity. We're thinking that if we've had a lot of negative things in our lives, that we're not going to resolve them. I'm just going to switch to the positive. I'm just going to go over here. So instead of me going off this way, I'm not gonna worry about what's going on down that way. I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. I'm just gonna sweep it under the rug, and I'm just gonna go this way. And here's the path to positivity. Wow, here's positive energy. Here I am. I'm gonna put something together. Oh crap! It smushes together, and it collapses, and the foundation cannot hold its own weight. What's happening? You're not looking at the idea of equilibrium, of looking together into a state of humility. The universe works together in balance. There is nothing in the universe in regards to all of its paradoxical mechanics that work one-sided as opposed to another. It's harmony, it's balance, it's neutrality, it's centeredness. It's everything that you know to be grand perfection. All right? This is the whole idea. If you feel that you're going to constantly be battling with yourself, that you don't want to look at all those negative situations that have taken place in the past, and that you're just going to turn your head and you're just going to go in this direction, and this is the positive path, without you being able to acknowledge and to release and to forgive yourself in regards to everything that happens negatively, that's going to continue to follow you. All right? It's going to be this little guy like this, and he's just going to be following you. Mr. Negativity, whatever you want to call him. But that's the whole idea, is you're constantly, like a guy with a fishing pole that has a big raw steak, for some big mean dogs to come running after him, You're always going to have that big red steak on that fishing pole, and you're always going to be carrying it with you, no matter where you go, no matter if you consider it to be positive, no matter how much, happiness or joy that you want to throw on top of yourself, you have not resolved the turmoil representing all that from what you would know as your past. It's going to continue to follow you. So again, this happens with illness. Brad, I got a really bad illness. I have something that's very, very rare. I don't really know anything that much about it. Have you talked to your body? Have you communicated with your body? Where is it causing disruption? Your body is openly communicative to you at each and every single time. Oh, but Brad, I don't know how to communicate with my body. But the whole idea is that you just need to work in regards to focusing on translation of how your body reacts. There's one particular method known as energy testing, kinesiology. All right, that's one way. It's like you're going to a foreign country and you're trying to talk to somebody, but you don't know the language. What do? Do you continue just to nod your head even though you don't have a damn clue what the hell this person is saying to you? Or are you going to work towards solution and learn the language so that you can communicate with people? That way you don't feel like you're so lost in the dark. You don't feel that you're just kind of walking around nodding your head to everybody and people are just looking at you and say, why is he doing that? I didn't even say anything to him. So the whole idea here is that you are attaining solution through your process of unlearning in regards to feeling that everything, whether it be negative, etc., whether it be an illness, whether it be a loss of job, whether it be a loss of your career, your loss of relationship, etc., whatever negative in that sense is coming through, you're able to address it. You acknowledge it, you release the burden of feeling that I no longer need this as identity, I'm able to let it go. You forgive yourself, you forgive others that are all part of the game in regards to this particular context. You can either do that or you can continue to wallow in regards to everything that feels like life is so unfair, I'm being mistreated, I can't do this, I can't do that. Believe me, I've been there. I've had a lot of these experiences as well too, from illnesses to relationships to career to jobs to everything. You know, I've been there. And it's understandable because, again, this reality is so alluring when it comes to drama. We buy into melodrama, and that is how we attempt to associate ourselves with life. That everything has to be about a dramatic consequence. There's got to be so much effort. There's got to be so much tension. There's got to be so much difficulty in order for me to make any type of boundary, leaping over that line. But it doesn't. It is the science of the simple. It is simplicity in its grandest degree that will help you to become centered, that will help you to become part of the 0-point balance. That's the key. So if you feel that you're going through a hard relationship, if you feel that you're going through struggle with career, finances, job, if you have an illness, etc., look towards the solution. Again, if there's the feeling that it's a very, very rare ailment, talk to your body. You know, I don't know what to call this. The doctor has looked at it, says everything's fine. All right, have I considered looking at some alternative practitioners? Maybe they can give me more information than just a yes or no response with kinesiology. Maybe I'll go and I'll talk to this medicine man. Maybe I'll go talk to this Reiki healer. Maybe I'll go talk to this psychic or this intuitive or somebody who has experience in alternative medicine therapy, etc. There's always a solution. But the whole idea is if you keep barricading yourself and feeling that these are the walls and I'm stuck with this is an identity thing, that's all it is. People don't want to get better because they welcome that virus in as part of their identity. And they welcome their broken heart in as part of their identity. And that they're not willing to move past that. There's always solution. I have yet to meet anybody whom I have personally witnessed who was able to reach a particular state of solution, no matter how drastic the consequences. You need to take responsibility for your life. Nobody's going to do it for you. You can have psychics, you can have intuitives, you can have healers that are giving you information in regards to what they're sensing in your energy. And they may be able to tie up a little bit of loose ends here on the surface, but when you're coming to the core of your issues, you have to look into it yourself. This is your life. This is your body. This is your experience. And so everything that represents the isness is, shall I say, creating everything now. Everything's already created, always. Your perception device, all right? So rather than saying, oh, I created all this, I've lived in turmoil, I must really hate myself, etc., etc., etc. The only reason why you're having these particular forms of dramatic cycles is because the positive and the negative are crashing and conflicting and attempting to clash together with each other to restore balance. And guess what? You're right in the middle of it. And there's going to be clashing and clashing and clashing until you start to reach a potentiality of humility. pertaining to everything that's happening within your life. How do you do that? By becoming a problem solver, by becoming a solutionist, by looking in towards driving yourself to what is causing the inadequacies, what is preventing myself from reaching authenticity, purity of what I am. And that's the driving force. So again, I'm always here in the best way that I can be to help people along the way. And again, I've always needed help from other people as well too, to fully realize this. You know, my connections again have been very, very strong with the Matrix and with many other different divine consciousnesses together. And of course, talking to many other people within this physical reality. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get assistance. If you feel that you can't really get the answer, maybe it's just good to hear a second opinion. And maybe that can kind of get some gears turning. Maybe there can be some sort of transformation that takes place. Go for it. Go for it. Because it's an idea. It's a solution. You're looking towards others. You don't feel that this is a lone gunman situation, that you're a lone wolf and that you have to bear this quote-unquote curse all by yourself. If it's something that you are not able to understand, look into others who are of like mind, who can assist you further. But make sure you have the mentality to know that these people can help you. Not the feeling, oh, I'm not going to go that path because that guy's not going to help me when I want to deal with a fool like me, etc., etc. I'm not going to go that path because, nah, I don't want to do that, etc., etc. I should go this traditional path. And the traditional path fails because you're calibrated in a different alignment that the traditional path cannot answer. So now you're looking towards alternatives, all right? So there's always going to be solution to turmoil, but it requires you to be in realization of knowing that there's solution. Only you can help you. Only you can understand by looking at that little peephole in the wall of that little narrow side at the other end that there is solution. You have to find it. You have to discover it. You have to become it. And really, just becoming it is the searching, is the discovering. It's always right in front of your face. You just have to realize it's there past all the fog and all the mist that clears. So thank you very much for tuning into this video. I know this is, again, just tackling on a very, very minute scale of these particular issues. But again, that's why I'm here, to the best of my ability. Feel free to contact me, info@consciousmatrix.com. Check out the website, consciousmatrix.com. Private sessions, online courses, anything else. Free multimedia, all kinds of great stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brad Johnson. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are in the world this day of your time. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste.